Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time again. And today's how to build video is going to be for Annin, Aijoro's Wrath giant form. Pretty old World Tournament unit, in all honesty. She's pretty old. I mean, she got her awakening back in 2022, and now she's getting her EZA in 2025. Little late, in all honesty. We've far past the point of where we needed giant form units for specific category-based content. I'm looking at you, frickin' Extreme Super Battle Road. But yeah, I still think she could be a fun unit to kind of rock on the teams she can go on to. I've used her a couple of times in the game's lifespan, but this is one of those units where you use her when you need her, and it just so happens it's not that often. But anyways, before I really get into rambling too much, because I'm a rambling old freaking dad, my name is Saiyan. I make Dragonball videos. I make how to build videos for Dokkan battle units. And if that sounds okay to you, then please do go ahead and smash the like and subscribe button. And let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So, we're going to go through the breakdown, defense numbers, build suggestions, and roll tips. Everything will be scrolling on the right-hand side of the screen. Just go ahead and look at those if you want to, and you can follow along with me, or yeah, just hit the timestamps in the comments below. Anyways, so she does technically have a giant form. I'll just go over the giant form real quick, because the giant form is only a little bit different, but her giant form massively raises attack temporarily, and she gets key +3 and attack plus 100% for every key sphere obtained, and also crit chance of 20% for every key sphere obtained. This is going to be where any and if any of her damage comes from. I don't personally think she needs any crit whatsoever, because that is basically her damaging point and form. So at any other point in time, I would not assume that she's doing any other form of damage. So as far as her leaders go, unfortunately at the time of recording, there is only Mutin Roshi here. It's unfortunate. I really wish that Roshi was still viably good right now, because Peppy Gals is getting a lot of support, and he is the primary 200% leader for Peppy Gals. But unfortunately, he's just not that amazing. He's good for the little Peppy Gal event, of course. That's amazing, and she'll be good in there too. So, if you've been struggling with the Peppy Gal event, then this could definitely be what you need. She is decent enough for that. Now, her leader skill is int types, key +3 HP attack and defense of 100%. Her super attack is greatly raising her defense and greatly lowering the enemy's defense. Now, don't get the greatlies confused, but you raise your defense by 50% and the enemy's damage gets lowered by 30%. Yeah, I wish the greatlies actually meant the same thing. Anyways, her passive skill is attack and defense at 200%. Recovers 8% HP at the start of the turn and 50% chance of recovering another 8%. She is supporting Peppy Gals, Realm of Gods, and Giant Form category allies by key +1 each and attack and defense of 60% each. Now, if there is a unit that gets Peppy Gals, Realm of Gods, and Giant Form all in one unit, yes, this unit is supporting that unit 3 times over. That's actually a crazy amount. Like, holy crap. Wait. Hold up. Well, unfortunately, I freaked out for no reason. Basically, it's almost impossible for a Peppy Gal to also be a Realm of God or a Giant Form. It's impossible for a Realm of God to be a Giant Form or a Peppy Gal. And it's impossible for, well, it's more possible the Giant Form could be Peppy, or no. Basically, all 3 of these categories is not going to be at any other distinctive point. So, you're not going to be able to triple support almost any other unit in the game. Now, when all allies attacking the same turn are Peppy Gal, Realm of God, or Giant Form category allies, she will get a 50% chance to dodge. Launch an additional attack that has a 50% chance to become a super attack. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense 150. When HP is 60% or more, key +3, attack and defense 200%, and 30% damage reduction. And then when HP is 60% or less, you have a 30% chance to dodge and a 70% chance to turn into Giant Form. So I will say this, when you're below 60% HP, she has 80% chance to dodge. That's pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. 80% dodge chance is very good still, in my personal opinion. So the fact that she has that is very clutch, I will say. I'm actually, she would be one of the first things I would worry about on a team, like anything that she could go on to. But with 80% chance to dodge, it basically means as soon as you fall below 60% HP, she's got an 80% chance to just keep dodging. So I think that's pretty nice. That's probably my favorite part about this unit, other than her 60% support for these categories, of which each one of them drastically would appreciate that support. So she's actually a really good supportive based unit. The damage reduction is random and doesn't really help, but the additional HP recovery is nice. The support is nice. Lowering the enemy's attack is nice. Everything is nice about this unit, except for her categories. Her categories are low to virtually nothing. Peppy Gal's Realm of Gods, Giant Form. That's literally it. That's literally it. Really unfortunate because honestly, she's a pretty decent unit. It's, well, I mean, we'll see after we see her defense numbers. But anyways, Link skills: Innocence, Transform, Infighter, Battlefield Diva, Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, and Shattering the Limit. Notice she's not even on the, Dragon Ball saga, but she has the Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Ball links. Yeah. Really, really stupid. Really freaking stupid. I hate that. It bugs me so much. I do not understand why they didn't change that. Anyways, Dokkan be Dokkan, right, guys? So her best link partners are straight up just Chi-Chis. Chi-Chis are gonna have all of the same links virtually. It's just unfortunate that you can't run them together, except for on Peppy Gals specifically. Technically, she does link well with this Goku, which is basically a DOA unit, but he's on giant form. Her next realistic link partner is straight up this Ranfan that just came out. Very good supportive unit too, and increasing the dodge chance of her as well. I think that's probably her literal best link partner right here. I think this could be a pretty solid rotation, but Ranfan is a straight dodge or die unit. So take that as you will. But yeah, she's basically just Peppy Gal, a link partner, and that's it. She'll make a decent link partner for a couple giant form units, but we don't need giant form units like we used to back in the day. But let's go ahead and take a look at her defense numbers. So these defense numbers are compliments of Halvard over on Twitter. Wow, that's unfortunate. So when her HP is 60% or above, post double super 1.6, triple from the hidden potential 2 million with 40% support 1.3 to 1.7 to 2.1. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Really unfortunate defense numbers there. On a triple, she's barely tanking semi new types of normals. Remember, normals are not 1 million. They're usually going anywhere from 1 to 2 million plus now. So, I mean, she could be used in a couple areas, I feel. She's primarily just a support unit. Honestly, it's hard to not just straight up suggest full dodge to her. It really is really difficult. Part of me thinks that a little bit of extra additional could help and go a long way, especially if you prioritize bringing her into places you could lower attack. I think she could still be semi-ly usable, but I would not blame anyone whatsoever for going a full dodge build. Entirely up to you, of course. But anyways, since we're talking about builds, let's just go ahead and move on to the builds specifically. So 55%, I would honestly just put level 5 dodge and level 2 dodge for silver and bronze, putting her natural level 5 to a 12. Moving on from her 55% build, I would suggest aiming once again towards all the way into dodge. I don't think that the little bit of additional will help in this degree because her stats are pretty low at this point. Remember, everyone, when you're taking into consideration of the defense numbers here when we're showing these are under rainbow circumstances, and it is highly unlikely that you will be at these numbers. A unit with only one dupe, that post super is probably closer to 900k if not lower. it's very unlikely you'll be seeing these numbers if you have less than Rainbow for her and fully Link leveled, I mind you. So just please keep that in mind, that this might not be viable for you to go full additional until you get a Rainbow. Now, once again, level 14 dodge is natural. You'll start with level 5 as an INT unit. 3 nodes will get you 9, pumping you up to a 14. You'll have 1 node left over that you can go into additional or crit. Choose additional. With the silver equipment and bronze equipment, this will pump you up to a 21 dodge chance for 1 dupe. As a reminder, the 1 dupe is on the bottom right-hand corner of the hidden potential system. Bottom right-hand corner first, and then you go top left when you get a second dupe. And for 2 dupes and above for this, I still suggest that you go more towards dodge and just a little bit into additional. So for her, level 17 naturally on the dodge, and level 9 naturally in the additional. That would mean 2 nodes are additional, or 3 nodes in total are going to be additional, and the rest would all be dodge. I would suggest that you maybe think about putting the gold equip into additional to raise that level 9 to a 14. That's a 28% chance to additional. Pretty decent-esque chance. Not great, but, you know, it might happen. And then a level 24 dodge here. By all means, you can mess around with these. This is a unit that's not on very many teams. I imagine majority of players already have her at full dodge even. Personally, I already had her a little bit into the additional area because back when she was used in Extreme Super Battle Road, I kind of hinged on those additionals going off, so I already have her a little bit into additional. But I would not be surprised if the majority of people went dodge. Now moving on from her build suggestions, I will say her role tips. She is primarily a supportive based unit. With her lowering of the enemy's attack, her HP recovery, her support for Peppy Gal's Realm of Gods and Giant forms, with her 80% dodge but when below a specific amount of HP, Giant form, I mean, there's just no part of her that isn't technically just a straight up support unit. Leader-wise, she's never going to be on any 200% team, really. Roshi just isn't viable, unfortunately, at the time of recording. Maybe in the far future that he gets an EZA, he'll be something, but otherwise, focus on Peppy Gals and Giant Form teams primarily. I do think you could potentially see some use out of her on Realm of Gods, perhaps. You know, maybe you can see something there with UI Goku. She has a super type. Maybe the domain will help. Who knows? Partner-wise, straight up just Peppy Gals, though. She doesn't really have any partners other than just straight Peppy Gals. Ranfan being her best, technically, because of the support Chi-Chi for Links. Best slot position, she is just a support unit, so I do suggest just throwing in slot 3 and supporting, floating her off when you can. She doesn't have viable enough links to keep her in slot 2. Unless you're absolutely desperate to getting that lowering attack, I would suggest just floating her at all points of time. So, yeah, a pretty straightforward build, I would have to say. Probably the easiest one out of all of them, except for Khalifa out of the batch that just released at their recording times. But anyways, guys, do let me know what team you're going to try and run her on, if at all. What build are you going to go with? And, of course, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good day and a good night.